It's Friday, so you know what that means. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He thrills the nation with his impersonations. Comedian Tyler Fisher. She fights for the Jews in her Jimmy Choos. This is one human rights lawyer, Brooke Goldstein. She's got a baby on board and it can't be ignored. New York Times bestselling author, Fox News contributor. And just like Trump, he's responsible for landslides. New York Times bestselling author. All right. I'm out of breath. All right, before we get to some news stories, let's do this.
Greg's Leftovers.
It's Leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week, and as always, it's my first time reading them. So if they suck, we'll tape Joe Mackey's eyes open and force him to watch Jimmy Kimmel. Lefty meltdowns continue, with dozens of Kamala supporters pledging to never have sex with conservatives. Trump supporters are calling it a win-win. In response to these liberal women denying men sex, one man felt a great sense of relief. In a historic first, Trump's next chief of staff will be a woman. I
I'm very happy for her.
know. But don't worry, she has a driver. Susie Wiles becomes the first female chief of staff in U.S. history. And unlike a lot of Biden's female appointees, she has no penis. Good for her! Real woman. So Googling how to move to Canada has become a popular search with liberals, along with how do I find someone to bang my wife? Because they're all cucks. Democrat strategist James Carville was stunned by Trump's re-election, saying, quote, "I'm in a very, very dark tunnel right now." You know, as opposed to his usual tunnel where he stores his food pellets and larvae. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith told The View he could see Donald Trump's victory from a mile away. It's the same thing he said about Joy Behar. Big lady. As a result of Trump's victory, the Dow Jones surged 1,500 points this week. Nancy Pelosi made so much money, she put a down payment on a new face. Pop star Madonna ate a cake that said F Trump. Meanwhile, Chris Christie ate a cake that said cake. Richard Gere, the actor, has sold his Connecticut home for $11 million after revealing that he's leaving the United States.
Here it comes.
Good. And don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. It'll wake the gerbils. It's going to be on his tombstone. What's he going to do? Rachel Maddow is being mocked for warning the U.S. that it was headed for an autocratic government. She's also being mocked for her startling resemblance to Hawaii detective Steve McGarrett. Yeah, her safe word is book 'em, Dano. Earlier this week, President Biden called Donald Trump to congratulate him on his victory. He also apologized for the stains in the Lincoln bedroom, the Situation Room, the Oval Office, and most of the West Wing. Later this month, McDonald's will bring back the McRib at select locations. It's not exactly a Harris victory, but it's close. said one woman. According to a new study, the secret to better sex is a full night's sleep. So that's why Mike Huckabee is smiling. Yeah.
Not relief all.
And finally, according to a new study, having fewer friends could actually be better for your health. In a related story, guess whose life expectancy just doubled? All right. So just 10 days ago, Trump's campaign was supposed to crash and burn. And why? The media told us that a joke by an insult comic would destroy any chance of Trump getting Latino voters. They claimed that the comic was a speaker, and that of the 8 or so hours at the Madison Square Garden, he was the only one there. Then they waited breathlessly for millions of Latinos to buy their What happened? Well, on Tuesday, President Trump got 46% of Latino voters, the biggest share by a Republican contender in modern times. Hell, even Ricardo Montalban voted for Trump. And he died in 2009. It was, in its purest form, the death of fake news, the collapse of brainwash. For some reason, what usually worked before fell on deaf ears, which makes us wonder, how did this propaganda not work on millions of Americans, even as the media industrial complex orchestrated its typical fury? It was as if the population was vaccinated against a virus that the elites had no immunity for. Call it a hoax dewormer, a drug against brainwash. And it worked, because this time around, the world post-election seems pretty serene. New York City, surprisingly, isn't on fire. The only noise you hear is in the media. Everyone else is getting on with their lives. Geraldo is already back tying up women on railroad tracks.
Damn.
He looks young there. Seriously, you have to look for the drama online at MSNBC or The View. But how long will this calm last? After minimal self-reflection, even the New York Times is back at it.
Trump will fulfill his promise to be a dictator on day one.
He sends troops into neighborhoods like my own to try to round up undocumented immigrants, that he sets up a network of camps.
Mass deportations. It would likely plunge the United States into something like a recession. His tariffs, likewise, promise to spike prices for most Americans and cause costs to go up dramatically.
That version of Trump could result in abandoning Ukraine to advancing Russian armies, could result in extraordinarily erratic foreign policy in the Middle East.
Talk about revenge porn. I sure hope Joy Reid doesn't go through with that sex tape. So if we know they're never going to stop, how do we respond? Well, by teaching the rest of the public the skills you developed for seeing through the BS. It's like X-ray vision for excrement. So stop looking at this as Republican versus Democrat or left versus right. It's us versus the brainwashers. And we need to expand our team. It's up to us to convince Kamala voters that they were gaslit too, and make the truth more prominent than Jesse's bald spot. Because again, why are Republicans and even some Dems not acting crazy when the Kimmels and the Hostins and the Maddows are? And how can you explain that the media loved Biden to the end until they didn't? Then they tossed him aside for Kamala, who they hated to the end until they didn't. It was a brainwash machine. And yet, even when media coverage was 78% positive for Kamala, we were immune. It's like we've discovered a superpower, a force field against hoaxes and media lies. So how did this happen? Well, for many years, people assumed the media had their best interests in mind, the truth. But as the media grew, so did their bullseye. And you experience what's called the Gelman amnesia effect, when you suddenly can gauge the truthfulness of an article because it's about you or your life. A plumber might assume everything on the front page is true until he reads a piece on plumbing. And he realizes, wow, this person doesn't know. Literally. I mean, this idiot just described a basin wrench as an offset hex wrench. What an asshole! See, the point is, if the topic involves you, then you see the lies, which is what happened on a mass scale to millions of Trump supporters when they were labeled racist, violent extremists. Suddenly, the Gelman effect went national. I mean, if they think I'm racist, what else are they lying about? So imagine if everyone got this, that none of the brainwashing could work anymore. The ladies of The View might actually have to find honest work. And CNN could be turned into something useful, like a pickleball court. So the goal in the next 4 years is to unite all sides with one shared enemy, the media. So forget attacking Democrats. Hell, they've suffered enough under their own policies. Tyler, obviously all those liberals scared of what Trump's going to do. What do you think Trump's going to do using Trump's own voice?
Well, I have to thank him for buying me 4 more years of this show.
Yeah.
I was going to retire.
But, you know, what a great week we've had. And we're doing no tax on tips. We know that. We're doing no tax on overtime. And we're doing, because nobody's talking about this. This is what the American people want. We're doing no tax on McDonald's. We love McDonald's. No tax on nuggets. They said, sir, you can't do that. We have the Senate. We have the House. So we have a great cabinet. We have RFK, Secretary of Health, as the new head chef of McDonald's. No, listen. Excuse me. Chicken nuggets will actually be healthy. You'll lose weight from the fries. We have fresh Atlantic cod for the fish fillet. And we're gonna clean house with the new Secretary of Taking Out the Trash, Elon Musk. So I fired everyone. So we're firing everyone. So it's gonna be so great. It's gonna be so great.
Yes. Thank you for that. A little medley of voices. A little medley.
It's schizophrenia.
All right, Brooke. Tell us what you think. Are we in an era where we've suddenly realized everything we get from the media is a lie?
Well, me and you knew that, right?
Yes.
We've known that for many years, and I'm so happy that everybody else has woken up. The media bias, it's Orwellian. It is so real. It is so obvious. And sometimes, you know, it's just so overt. I was lucky enough to be able to attend some of the rallies and invited by Trump's people to hear him speak in private context. And it's remarkable how they misquote him and how they take his words out of context. And then, you know, it's less overt, it's more covert with all the editorializing. The CNN headline the day after Trump wins, it's Trump retakes power with a disruptive influence. What could be less disruptive than a peaceful transfer of power? It's a democratic influence. And so, you know, it's just the whole heeing and hawing about how this is going to be a dictatorship, how our rights are going to be taken away. It is on its face ridiculous. This is democracy working. The people have spoken, not just the electoral vote, but he won, you know, the majority of the American public. So they are so out of touch. They are so elitist. I hate when the celebrities go out there and wax and opine about it. Why do we even listen to what they're saying at this point?
It is so true. Kat, what do you think of my theory that, like, okay, you were in the media spotlight when you can assume everything that's being written is probably accurate until you read an article that you were interviewed for.
Yeah.
And then you read it and you go, I didn't say that, and that was a joke. I was joking when I said that. And it tells you that maybe all the other stories that you were reading about, I don't know, climate change or the automotive industry is equally flawed.
Well, you have to just start questioning things that you read and also look at motivations of things. There's certain people whose entire job, I mean, in our situation, is to watch Fox News and then write about how bad everything they saw was.
Yes.
So that's their motivation. That's their job. So you have to read that with that lens. But that's not like that's the only form of media out there that does stuff like this. These people on these channels when this worked for a while, right? What this worked for a while, where they had their highest viewership, talking about Trump and all these bad things are going to happen, and the walls are closing in.
Yes.
The walls haven't, obviously, is reelected. So, but that's kind of worked for them for a while. So that's why they're doing it. Division and this kind of fear mongering, it makes money. It's far more interesting to say that on TV than it is to say Trump won, but it's probably going to be fine. People tune in for, so I'd say look at motivations of things.
Yeah, the walls are closing in, but it's the wall on our border. See what I did there? And I got applause.
If you wanted me to clap for you, you could have just asked.
Yes. What about that, Tyrus? The fact that, okay, we always have to begin every time I ask. You called this early on. You said the polls were BS, but do you believe that it was artificially made close because of what Kat was saying to keep the money flowing?
No, I think the problem is that we have an elite group of narcissistic morons. So, no, I wish that was a joke, but it's not. They don't. To go on TV every day to objectively talk about something, you have to study, you have to research the pros and cons. And both candidates, you should find things you like, things that concern you. It's called doing work. That's why all the old journalists look so old, because they smoked cigarettes and stayed up all night checking sources and this, that, whatever. When you get The View, who are like, I don't have to think anything, I don't like them, and I'm rich, so you shouldn't like him either. And I can say anything because no one's gonna check me. I surround myself with people. They'll have one puppet Republican who was scared to death to say anything against them, or if she does come out, they'll interrupt her nonstop. So there's this level of stupidity, and it spreads because they don't have to, all they have to say is, Trump is Hitler. And their followers will be like, well, maybe he is Hitler. But then if anyone actually paid attention in history class, they'd be like, he's not anything close to Hitler. There is no other Hitler, hence why we know who Hitler is. Because there's just an ignorance and it's an arrogance to where I can just say whatever I want to. Then they get caught. And they can't say, I have been wasting network money lying to you. So they have to double down and go even stupider. And keep saying things like, I only watch because of the clips. You force us to watch The View.
I do.
He does. He does. He's like, yeah, you predicted it. Good job. Guess who's watching The View for a month? So, Kat's baby's gonna come out and be like anti-Sunny. But as you watch them, you see them just age and cringe because they get caught up in their lives. So what do? The new word is misogynistic. And guess what? Their only mistake was they blamed white men. They forgot that black men, Hispanic men, and Asian men too. So that's the new thing. And then they're like, oh, it's just men. And then they're like, well, 53% of women. Oh, it's stupid women and men. So they'll just keep going till they're down to the only thing you can trust is a penguin. The penguins, they get it because they're running out of people to blame. So this is fun because they just keep it going, keep it going. Next thing we hear is apparently the extraterrestrials also voted for Trump. So it's a long line of just stupidity because you don't have to practice or educate yourself to be stupid.
Yes, that is true. All right, up next, Game's past the buck after running out of luck.